with the latest episode of Sword of the Demon Hunter. 3 years have passed, but things mostly remain the same with Jinya. But it seems like when it comes to there being a potential formula to this show, that's not going to happen. So getting to the recap, it's about 1853 now, and Jinya is in the Inobashi area, I think is what they say. And from what it seems, there's a serial killer. It isn't clear who the serial killer is or what the serial killer is, but it's assumed to be a demon. And with that, of course, Jinya's ready to volunteer. And while he may not make money on this job, he will build up his reputation. He will build up his strength, which is one of the two main driving forces when it comes to him working. Now, unfortunately for him, when he's out there trying to use information that Ofu and her father gave in terms of what's happening with this demon, the only person he runs into or entity is Masuke. Masuke is a demon, a superior demon because of be it his age or the fact that he actually has awakened powers of invisibility. And once you have awakened powers, apparently you're a superior demon. New fact. But while it would appear that Masuke is the one that's assaulting and killing men and brutalizing women and then leaving their bodies in the river, he's not that. If anything, he's looking for the same demon Jinya is, because Masuke, who's one of those type of demons who don't want to live a big, grandeur life, he just wants to live a quiet, small one. He lost his wife in a very violent way because of this serial killer. So, in many ways, he just wants revenge. And for a second, both Jinya and Masuke thought that the other person was the serial killer. Luckily, that's not the case. And in a strange way, with a shared enemy, the two kind of bond and become friends to a certain degree. I'm talking even to the point of Jinya kind of moving beyond that whole stoic, strong hero type and drinking, kind of laughing, and I would even say having a good time. But while he's having these conversations, he also kind of brings up not the idea, but he brings up Suzune. And there's a question of whether or not forgiveness is possible. Of which, with it being that Jinya was able to forgive his father after all that happened, it seems that with Suzune, forgiveness can potentially be on the table because he still acknowledges her as his sister and doesn't disown her. But you can tell, even with the years that have passed, he's still working his way towards that. But despite this seeming like a show that was going to do a monster or story of the week, that doesn't happen this time. While Masuke and Jinya are out trying to find this serial killer, Jinya runs into Ofu, whose father runs a local restaurant that Jinya frequents, and the episode ends with Jinya walking Ofu home after she's out at night. And we're left to just assume that this story will continue in the next episode. So, getting to the highlights, it's definitely going to be that Jinya broke the idea that he's going to be this quiet, loner, always suffering type with this episode. With him befriending Masuke, drinking, kind of opening up and talking about himself, it gives you the sense that he is going to be very different from the protagonists that we're used to that are similar to him. And I don't know how far they're going to take that in terms of maybe making it so that he could be friendlier, laughing, stuff like that. I mean, the man has gone through trauma and definitely is not over it yet, so him changing too much would be kind of unfair to expect. But just seeing him kind of break the mold in terms of what you should expect, it's notable and definitely a highlight. But I have to admit, I'm a little bit on the fence about this episode not ending with a resolution, only because on a positive end, I hate episodic shows that have everything begin and end in one episode as if things should be that simple. But at the same time, if this show is going to do multi-episode stories or arcs, I'm going to need them to be good. I need them to be even sometimes 1 episode, 2 episodes, maybe 3. I think this show is only 13 episodes for its first season, so can't get too crazy. But the overall idea is that if it's going to break that whole episodic thing that most shows do, I'm hoping that it's worth it, and that if it's going to build up these different scenarios like this serial killer, the payoff is great. Otherwise, it's going to be very frustrating, especially going forward. Though overall, with a multi-episode story, seeing Jinya loosen up, and also the show expanding on what demons can do and how they can act based through Masuke, I would say the latest episode of Sword of the Demon Hunter provides more and more reason to get long-term invested.